How risky are Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb? What about Breece Hall, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, other players that play on teams that are not winning, even Devon Achane? There's risk across the board with players that play on bad teams. But specifically, these three guys are more alarming to a degree. I think you can make arguments, and one piece of news could knock one of those guys I just mentioned, Neighbors, Jamar, Breece Hall, Achane, into this conversation. But these three guys, more than the rest, have a little bit more risk to their situations. Why? We're breaking it down and more. This is a live show. This is the Saturday evening show where we go live and answer all your start bench questions. Take care of your phone calls, super chats, you name it. The Fantasy Football Show, Saturday Graveyard Show, begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks, live whenever games end, live most graveyard shows. We're live all the time. But especially and specifically, make sure you're here for that Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern show. Every single Monday through Friday. And whenever big news breaks. Now, let me start off by saying one thing. I think that Tyreek Hill will have a huge day in week number 12. And that's going to give us a sense of security, potentially, for a little bit. The problem, again, and I buy him low.
Smitty, I don't understand. You're buying him low, you're worried about him, you're panicking like a Peter on a couple of these guys, but yet you continuously say buy low.
As I mentioned, there are so many ways and avenues and vantage points in fantasy football. It's wild to me that I even have to explain this to some people because they don't listen or they don't hear me. They listen to me, but they don't hear Smitty. They listen to him, but that's it. There are so many different ways to look at buy low players. If you own some of these players and they've done very badly for you, like you're a Tyreek Hill drafter, guess what? You have 3 or 4 wins at the most. If you own Tyreek Hill and you have more than 4 wins, speak up in the chat. I'd love to know how many of you exist on planet Earth that own and drafted Tyreek Hill. And in some cases, CeeDee Lamb. I bet you not many people are above 5 wins. That makes him a very, very vulnerable player for owners that drafted those players moving forward. You can grab them for pennies on the dollar. You can bake in the risk that we're talking about. We would be baking in all of that risk, 100%. So understand that when I say Tyreek Hill is at risk going forward, he's also a very good play this week. This is a beat up team. This is a beat up defensive. Let's see here. Let me get the schedule up. This is a beat up, very beat up New England Patriot defense. Missing Gonzalez. You've got Tua Tagovailoa probably having a really, really nice day. This will give a sense of, I don't know, urgency. This will give people a sense of potential bounce back. But at the end of the day, what happens to Miami when their playoff aspirations do come to a close and a crashing halt? This is the New England Patriots. This is going to be a big game. But if you are able to sell him high off of this game for any reason your trade deadline hasn't come up yet, you play in a league that allows you to trade like a big boy up until the playoffs, which is honestly how I like to do it, but most leagues don't do that. I would sell him off of a big week for sure because this guy's got a torn ligament in his wrist. There's a high likelihood if they're out of playoff contention, they shut him down immediately. Or he shuts himself down. So he can have as big of a game as he wants to have in week number 12. He can have 7 touchdowns in week 12. That'll definitely help you get into the playoffs. But what happens in weeks 15, 16, 17? Or week 17, or week 16 and 17, or week 16 and the second half of week 17? Like Christian McCaffrey and Kamara screwed so many people in championship week. What happens then? Does it matter if he has 75 points in week number 12? That's what I'm trying to get you to look at. There are different layers and levels to this thing that go beyond 1 week of time. So if you've got him, make sure he's in your lineup because New England will probably get worked. And even if this is a close game and a nice little battle because Drake May comes to ball, it still will probably be high scoring. Tyreek Hill probably will get that one big day. So I'm starting Tyreek Hill everywhere. But mark my words, he is one of the most riskiest players in the league. The most risky players in the league to be sitting there in week 16 and 17 popping off in your lineup if he's even playing. Christian McCaffrey 100% is right there with him. More so than Lamb. Lamb's a concern. We'll get to Lamb. But Christian McCaffrey 100% is probably the second riskiest, if not tied with Hill, riskiest player going forward. Why? Number one, he's got bilateral Achilles tendonitis. If you're a Niner fan, you think that that's gone and done with. He took care of it. He's fine. He'll be okay. He'll be good next year. He'll be good for 2 more years. If you're a Niner fan, your goggles are just absolutely this thick. You have no idea what you're even looking at. It's not your fault. But Christian McCaffrey will probably never, this can be hard to hear. You might want to put your Niner earmuffs on if you're strictly a Niner fan before you're any sort of fantasy fan. Christian McCaffrey will likely never, ever, ever, ever return to form. And if he does for a game, this is a short spurt of him being able to muster up the kind of volume, turn it into touchdowns. He looks pretty quick receiving the ball, doesn't have power running the ball. He's under 4 yards a carry, doesn't look like he has good strength, but he does look like he has some pretty decent quickness and ability to get to a football, catch it, and then get taken down really quickly. If you've noticed Christian McCaffrey, and he's still trying to get his feet under him, but that's the problem, is this is the bilateral Achilles tendonitis is not something that goes away. This is chronic. It's not something you develop like an 18-year-old or 20-year-old in systematic conditioning in high school, and you stressed out your tendons. You're absolutely pushing the limits. You're growing on top of that. You've got Osgood slaughter or whatever turning into patellar tendonitis. You got all these things going on in your legs that are they're evolving, they're changing, they're growing. You grow out of those things. You grow out of those things. You don't have the ability to do that as a 28-year-old man that has taken mileage that some players didn't have in college and the pros combined. No player in the history of the NFL, really, probably top 5, I'd say, in the history of the NFL. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I almost guarantee that's going to be right if you pull the numbers. Top 5 in the National Football League in the history of the NFL, if not number 1. In terms of being the highest percentage of his team's offense. Christian McCaffrey in Carolina was by far and away, year over year, the number 1 percentage of his team's offense. Every single play this guy was involved, overworked to the craziest degree. This guy has no shot at being viable in the coming years. The question you have to ask yourself in terms of 2024 remainder of the season, week number 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, is if the Niners fall out of contention to be a playoff team, which could take a couple weeks to come to fruition. And they could in a miracle setting, and they're a very lucky team this way. They look at the playoffs last year. Look at how they, let me see if I can pull up, here's the bracket from last year. Think about when the Niners beat Green Bay, barely. Very, very lucky team. Think about how the Niners came back and beat the Detroit. That was completely nail in the coffin type game. They're a lucky team. If there's any team that could somehow find a way to squeeze into the playoffs, the Cardinals unravel, who are leading the division. Seattle Cardinals play this weekend, so there's one L getting taken by one division rival. You've got the Eagles going up against the Rams. That is a tough opponent, and we got that schedule right here. Eagles and Rams are, I believe, the Sunday night game. So you got a potential tough win right here for the Rams. There's a way for the Niners if they were to win, but they've got Brandon Allen back there. They don't even have Joshua Dobbs. This guy, Kyle Shanahan, doesn't know personnel at all. He is the worst personnel decision maker at the head coaching level in the National Football League. He's proved it time and time again. And as much heat as I take on this topic, people are starting to not push back anymore. I've gotten so much pushback over the last 2.5, 3 years over my Kyle Shanahan rants as I say he's an amazing offensive coordinator and scheme artist, but one of the worst head coaches in the National Football League. The problem is you don't know that because his offensive coordinating has carried him. His teams that have been partially helped built by Adam Peters, or most of it built by Adam Peters through the draft, the man who's now the GM and orchestrator of the Washington Commanders turnaround situation, that guy, and John Lynch, and some Kyle Shanahan are the main reasons why Shanahan has the weapons he has. The Niners keep carrying Shanahan. He continues to make bad decisions. He's horrible with his quarterback decisions. He's horrible with personnel. The entire organization's horrible in terms of signing players and when to sign players. And he keeps taking his foot off the gas and letting wins get away from him, losing leads, can't catch up for anything, can't change his game plan. He's got the most loaded roster in the NFL, and he can't win games. So you can ask yourself that question, hey, what if the Niners make the playoffs? Then Christian McCaffrey probably, as he fights to get them in and tries to put them on his back, will probably try and play out the remainder of the season without any missed time, of course. So there's that opportunity, which is the same kind of like cautionary tale I give you on Tyreek Hill in terms of thinking doom and gloom. Is there a world where Tyreek Hill and his team put up a fight long enough that he never really sits? Yeah, there's that chance for sure. But again, you couple the torn ligament in his wrist with his team likely being out of contention very soon, and that just makes him have even more red flags than Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey, as soon as the Niners, if they lose with Brandon Allen under center, not Dobbs, Joshua Dobbs, the pastronaut, the guy who the fan base absolutely loved, the guy that is perfect to plug in for 1 or 2 games because he has enough juice to do that for 1 or 2 games. Think Ryan Fitzpatrick. He'd always come in, or DeVito, and I'm not saying DeVito does it this time around, but DeVito, any of these guys come in and there's not a lot of film on them. The teams aren't prepared for it. There's always just a little bit of buzz. Joshua Dobbs, when he did it in Arizona, did it in Minnesota, there's just a little bit of like, this is like a wild charged player that's going to run out of juice after a couple games. That's the guy you call upon. Shanahan doesn't know that. Shanahan doesn't know personnel. Shanahan doesn't make good quarterback decisions. You're turning to Brandon Allen, and when you can turn to Joshua Dobbs, the absolute epitome of what you need in this situation, the absolute definition is the better word of what you need right now, right here, for a 1 or possibly 2 game shot. You don't put in that guy that can carry a team, run around, create plays, make defenses go, what is this? I don't even know how to guard this. And then 2-3 games later, he falls apart. That's what you need now, but Shanahan doesn't do it. He puts in Brandon Allen. You think Brandon Allen's going to be the savior? I don't think so. You've got Nick Bosa, probably one of, if not the league's best defensive player, out in this Green Bay matchup against the Niners. You've got Brandon Allen QBing this thing. You've got a banged up still, no matter what you want to think about Christian McCaffrey, he's still injured and trying to get even close to healthy. You've got a coach that doesn't know that Jordan Mason was pretty much leading the league in like 3 major rushing categories. You could call him a top 1, 2, or 3 rusher in the National Football League, and you don't even use him anymore. You don't even run him. You don't even rotate Jordan Mason with Christian McCaffrey. You've got Fantasy World's convinced that Jordan Mason's bad when he was literally the league's best rusher in so many categories for a handful, months of football. Not 1 month, not 3 games, not 2 games, not 1 game. 2 months of football, Jordan Mason was in the top 1, 2, or 3 in pretty much every category. And you don't use him. You decide to continue to use 3.5 yard per carry Christian McCaffrey. This coach doesn't know what he's doing. Christian McCaffrey, as soon as the Niners fall out of contention, what do you think happens to the man that needs to prolong his career? The man that maybe looks honestly in the mirror and says, as much as my heart's in it, as much as my skills, my fingers, my hands, my mind, my spatial awareness, my ability to cut and maneuver and read defenses and do all these things, that's all on par. That's all on point. But my body is breaking down. Can I go one more run? Can I give one more elite season? He's not going to, but he's thinking that. Let me pack it in. Let me dial it down and then pack it in. I'm scared that he's not there in weeks 15, 16, 17, just like he wasn't last year in week 17. I know because I was on pace for 30K. I was going to get 30 grand on Underdog because I had Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey going into the second half, and they both sat. And I went from bouncing around inside that top 10. I was sitting there. I got a screenshot of it. I put it up when it was happening. I was sitting at 30K, $30,000 on my Underdog. By the way, if you want to play Underdog Week 12 and draft a Week 12 team, or draft with us later, hit this link right here, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Yeah, Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey both sat the second half, and I just tanked in the second half. Went down. I think I got 1,500 in that league still, but it was heartbreaking. This is not a biased take either. Like, I still love Kamara. I'm just saying I have a bad feeling Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill seems to, on occasion, screw people at the end of the season. CMC, Tyreek Hill might not be there for you. And Lamb Chops is just another variation of this. The team's awful. Who's quarterbacking? Who's Trey Lance going to be in there soon? This guy might have 3 quarterbacks this year, if not more, by the end of the year. Who knows? The rapport, the consistency, the vibe, everything is just negative. The red flags are all over the place. And if Lamb, who is a diva receiver, he's not George Pickens, but he's certainly not Larry Fitzgerald. He's George Pickens. He's certainly not Breece Hall in terms of I think, the way he carried himself in a negative situation. Larry Fitzgerald was a team guy, wanted to retire no matter what the team was doing with that team. He wanted to be that guy. Lamb is literally, and you can't blame him, but he's more out for himself. And if there's a personality type that isn't as obvious as a Pickens, or whatever, it is CeeDee Lamb that would probably say, I'm banged up. I got a little hamstring tightness. Maybe it's not even there. Maybe a little bit is there. Maybe some of it's built in truth. But if there's anybody that might say, I'm not playing week 16 and 17, not saying he backs out in week 12 or 13 or 14, but you got to wonder if in week 17 and week 16, if Lamb Chop says, let's go into next season healthy. I don't want to injure or risk anything. This would probably be, out of these two guys, more rooted in a real potential injury that was actually there, surface level and all. Even if it wasn't a big threat, surface level injury, little bit of a tweak. I'm just going to sit it out and be careful. These are very good buy lows. I'm going to preface it one more time. As is Breece Hall. As is, Jamar Chase isn't a buy low, but if someone were freaking out about this, you would take advantage. Neighbors is a buy low. Breece is kind of in the realm of in between a buy low and a sell high just because of his situation, panicking people. All of these guys have their uses for buying in a trade. Going and trading for one of these players, there is nothing wrong with it. That's why you will be confused if you don't watch this show religiously and understand my process. You'll be confused to see a lot of the same names we talk about in those settings. Be concerned, caution on the buy low board. And again, buy low doesn't necessarily mean you are pennies on the dollar. It just means you're a little cheaper than you should be. Darnold's freaking people out. JJ's not exactly exploding. Evans has been injured. Neighbors is a panic for everybody that owns some MHJ. People give up on. Collins had a bad game, even though box score Bobbies don't understand that if you watch the game, he was 2 plays being overturned. 2 overturned plays from having 6 receptions for 140 yards and a touchdown. Hopkins, people have given up on already. McLaurin, people run so quickly from success if they don't see it for 1 or 2 weeks. Kyron, same thing. Ridiculous, some of the Kyron takes I see right now. Just ridiculous. Pacheco, he's out 1 more week. It's pissing people off. Brian Thomas Jr., who? Top 7, top 8 wide receiver. Best rookie in everybody's just absolutely glazing. And then now all of a sudden, Brian Thomas Jr., who? This guy's going to have an explosion as he breaks through the rookie wall and goes upward trajectory. Upward. Going to smash. We're going to get into the week 12 questions that you all might have. 440 of you in here, only 50 thumbs up. Those are rookie numbers. Can we pump those rookie numbers up and get into the 150, 200 range at least? Can we get half of you to wipe your feet at the front door? Hit that thumb up button. Let's get straight into these super chats that are sitting here. We'll open phone lines. We'll also draft. Would JT and Neighbors be too much for Hall? I think it probably would be, my boy, because the thing is, like, Hall and JT, one could argue. Like, I'd rather have Hall for sure, but JT, Neighbors, that's two very good pieces. And when you can argue Hall and JT, not that I wouldn't draft Hall above JT, because I would, when you can make a really strong argument that they're very close in value, or one could argue they'd rather have JT, you're getting a free Neighbors, bro. There's no way I'm making that trade, even though I love Breece Hall. Absolutely love him. TP coming in with a strong $10 hauler, says flexing Hunter Henry and Benson. Bench Sharps, Ray Davis, Pearsall, Mason, Quorum, Waiver Wire, Disley. And real quickly, TP, I don't mean to cut your super chat off real quickly, but I want to say this. The threat of this situation is what might bring full circle this cuff board must-have cuffing situation and Mason Garendo back into the fold. This might bring this back full circle into win a league. Hey, repeat Mason Garendo. Repeat of what we had preseason. Scoop them up, grab the duo. Don't worry about the haters saying you're going to hold backups. Look what that did for you. Mason helped you get where you are. If you've drafted Mason or picked him up off of the advice on this channel to cuff Mason and Garendo together, even if you don't own Christian McCaffrey as a secret weapon. And then the Achilles stuff started to come out after that. You probably are where you are partly because of Mason. This might come full circle. Make sure you know that. Disley and Sharps for Akina. So the trade is drop Henry for Disley. Yeah, probably would. And Sharps for Akine. If you don't have Walker, I'm okay with that. But just know you're literally an injury away from Sharps becoming the best pickup of the second half or the third half of the season. Like, I can't predict the injury or an injury to a player like Walker, it's not injured or anything right now. So just know that you'd be kicking yourself if that happened, but I understand the need to put Akine in, who scored, I believe, 5 touchdowns in the last 6 games, right? And the only truly own is for Kyron, the cuff for Karen, as you say. Yeah, I'm fine with that release of Sharps, but just know that I can't control. If Sharps got into the lineup, we'd be sending him to the moon and playing the Zach Charbonnet video that we have, because we love the guy, but he's not in a starter role right now. Smitty, since Purdy is out, would you start Disley over Kittle? I don't think I'd go that far, because I think Kittle will be leaned upon, but I will say that it might not be as big of a game for Kittle as it could have been, but I still think he's above Disley. But you're not crazy to make that move. I don't think that's a wild take by any means. I think it's understandable, and Disley's been playing pretty well. But I still lean Kittle, bro, because he'll be a safety net. 9-2 traded JT and Ladd for Hall and Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have Hall and Garrett Wilson, but I mean, there's a lot of good and bad to this. I think Hall is, proven by last year, the capable type of character of a guy that will not sit out, early because he, doesn't want to put wear and tear on his body. But, JT, like I said, is arguable against Hall, but JT's a walking injury, in his own right. So Ladd, I like a lot right now. He's looking really good. He really is. Garrett Wilson, could Ladd outscore Garrett Wilson? Sure. Could JT outscore Hall? Sure. Could you have the best side of this trade on the Ladd JT side on all levels? You could. I would take the gamble on Garrett Wilson. I would take the gamble on Hall and Garrett Wilson. Who knows what happens with Aaron Rodgers? There's word Aaron Rodgers could be put on IR. There's word Aaron Rodgers could get flat out cut. We'll talk about that more probably tomorrow tonight. I don't know if we'll go live on that on a separate video. If I even have time tonight, I suppose I could. Good deal. I'd probably take it, yeah. It's a tough call, though, Rob. It really is. Finding Debo says, rate this team rest of season 10-team league full PPR. QB Hurts, running back Hunt, Gibbs, Stevenson, Bucky. Wide receivers are Nico, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, Jamison Williams, T. Higgins, Debo. Tight ends are Kittle, Hill. I mean, it's a good team, bro. I mean, Hunt you get for one more week. Then you start having some concerns about your running back, too, to a degree. Bucky's, like, great if they play him. Stevenson's hit and miss. But that could be okay for you. I'm not panicking tremendously over that, given that you have Hurts as your stable, rock-solid weekly winner for you. You have Gibbs, who's another type of player like that. Nico's another player like that. Jefferson's another player like that. And DK can flirt in that territory. What I would do, though, if you could trade, I mean, I don't know that you can because you're not asking. You're asking me to just rate it. And you should have made a trade before the deadline. You should have overpaid if you needed to get something done. Is move some of the surplus wide receiver depth that you have. T. Higgins, DK, JMO. I highly doubt your lineup allows you to start all those guys. So I would have been trading Stevenson and JMO, Stevenson and Higgins, Stevenson and Debo, Stevenson and DK for one slight running back upgrade, even if I was massively overpaying. But I will say this, you'll probably get the wide receivers wrong each week. Because how do you sit Higgins? How do you sit Debo? How do you sit DK? JMO, they're all fantastic. But I would say if you get your wide receivers majority of the time right, your team is too good to not be in the final four teams at the end of the day, bro. It's a great squad. And all you got to do is pick the right running back to a degree, each week. And even if you miss on it a little bit here and there, you're making sure you're not picking the 0-point guy. You're getting 10 points out of their RB. Bucky's pretty good this week. Stevenson's not bad either this week anyway. Have Jennings plus Debo. Need running back 2. Got offered Debo for Pacheco. Should I smash it? If you need a running back bad enough, I probably would take Pacheco. There's a risk to it, but there's also a risk. People are barely wanting to start Debo right now. I think Debo could have a good week. I think they maybe run him a lot, but with Brandon Allen back there and no certainty that Purdy returns even in the next game in Week 13, he might even be out longer. Who knows what Shanahan's not telling us? This Debo might fall off the map. DJ says he needs some help real quick. Trade Kareem Hunt and Worthy for A.J. Brown. I would do that in a second, DJ. Smash that. Smash it. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We'll probably draft here in a little bit as well and help some of you guys in terms of these questions in conjunction with some drafts and draft it and show it and apply. Chew gum and walk at the same time. In fact, let's get into a draft right now by going to Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. You're going to click this link right here. The link is, all right, Adrian, call back, hang tight, all right? Here's the link right here. Promo code Smitty. Hit that link. Link has been pinned in the live chat, I think, already. Should be pinned in the live chat, I think. Let me see here. We got it pinned in the live chat. Yes, it is. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit 50%. All the way up to $1,000. So smash that. They'll also give you a free pick. You only have to do the $10 minimum, though. So you don't have to get all crazy and drop that much if you don't want to. But your boy is going to jump into a draft right now. Go ahead and hit the draft. Actually, how do you get into it? Let me explain real quick. You're going to pull up the Underdog app. Right when you open it, it should be right in front of you. It'll say Battle Royale Week 12, $7 entry. You click the card, you hit the green button. Go ahead and do it now. If you miss this one, you can get into the next one. All you got to do is make sure draft tab is selected at the bottom, and then you're at the lobby tab and get into the draft. And we'll swing on over to the board view and put this up right here, and we'll have ourselves a little day. Is this not going to let me? Hopefully this. There it is. Boom. Boom. Nailed it. Okay, so I'm drafting from the 2 spot. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in if you got a question.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. College football is elite. Yes, sir. ASU, baby. ASU, baby. Genty still looking good. Genty's so good. Genty, we're going to have a Genty video. Ashton Genty, 1.1 across all fantasy football rookie drafts. Ashton Genty, at least a second-round pick in fantasy football 2025 redrafts. You can be scared of rookies. You can say, oh, I'm tired of banking on rookies. Look at how Neighbors turned out, which we warned you not to take him too high. There's the threat of what's going on. You know, MHJ, that didn't work out like we would want it to. So you can say till you're blue in the face, like, oh, I can't trust rookies. I'm gonna be scared and have PTSD to rookie, drafting rookies early. But every situation is case by case. You cannot let one season affect you in terms of that stuff. You can't. Situation matters. Where's the player land, et cetera, et cetera. So all of it is very, 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 very dependent. Let's see. I'm going to draft. I'm going to go H-Chan here. You're live, Adrian. What can I do for you?
How you doing, Smitty? I'm going to be quick. So here's my situation. I'm in an 8-man, and since I drafted a quarterback really late, I was stuck with Kyler Murray. He's doing pretty good, but I've been always wanting someone better. And at this point, I have enough receivers where I have Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, and Cooper Kupp with trades and stuff. And I do have CeeDee Lamb as well. I don't know, what do you think if I'm thinking about trading like CeeDee Lamb for like a top QB?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't hate that, but I also think Kyler's pretty damn good, bro. You're running the risk of running away from a situation where the Cardinals are looking good. They're firing on all cylinders. They're starting to get MHJ running a more expanded route tree like he should be. This is exciting. It makes me feel like consistency for MHJ could kick into gear, and if that happens, then Kyler's going to be more consistent overall. But yeah, I agree. There's concern a little bit. It's not like it feels like ultra safe, to have Kyler as your starter. But I think there's a lot of upside. He runs the ball, he runs well, and he's just playing really good right now. Even the week prior, when he didn't. He still played well, even though he didn't do what we wanted fantasy-wise. I'm feeling pretty good about Kyler, and I think it would depend on who you could get. What quarterback are you talking? Because my guess is that CeeDee Lamb's not going to get you a Josh Allen. He's not going to get you a Jalen Hurts. So now you're talking about Kyler Murray capable value for the other guy you're going to get.
So I got offered Jalen Hurts and
that's
Jaden
impressive.
Daniels for Justin Herbert and CeeDee Lamb.
That's pretty awesome. Let me write this down. You got offered Hurts
or Jaden Daniels.
Okay, well, Hurts by a mile.
CeeDee Lamb and Justin Herbert.
CeeDee Lamb and Herbs. I would take Hurts in a second.
Because I'm thinking, since I have already these other receivers, I'm probably never going to start CeeDee Lamb and playoffs.
Yeah, but it's a no-brainer then for you. For most people, they're not going to be able to land a Hurts using CD. But the fact that you get to throw in Herbert and Herbert's playing kind of like that's a smart move. That's how you do it. It's finessing them. That's great. Great job.
Yeah.
Hard to believe you're pulling that off, be honest. That's great. Do it. Smash it now before it's too late, bro. That's a home run.
Hell yeah. I mean,
right.
I won last year. I got second place the year before that because of your YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
I get the chip this year again.
All right, later, bro.
Um,
Peace out. Yeah, I highly doubt other people are going to get that. I highly doubt other people are going to get that. Okay, so far my team is H.N., Kelsey, Mike Evans. I've been drafting this kind of same team over and over. And I'm trying to get some diversity going across my Week 12 Battle Royales on Underdog, which, again, you guys can participate in. Links pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. Code Smitty also does the same thing effectively. And I'll drop the link in the live chat, even though it's pinned in the live chat one more time. get you a 50% match on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, but the minimum is only $10. You only have to drop $10, and they'll give you $5. Or if you drop 100, they'll give you 50, etc., etc., etc. So here we are. Here we are sitting here on the clock. Patty Mahomes is there. I think that guy next doesn't have a QB, so I don't want him taking Mahomes. So I'm going to take Mahomes here. If he had a quarterback, then I wouldn't have to worry about it yet. But I'm going to go with Kelsey, Mahomes, Achane, Mike Evans. Feeling pretty solid about this. I've been making this my go-to team. I got to try and draft something different about it each time. Otherwise, I just have the same one. Although I do wonder, wouldn't it be amazing to draft the same team like 4 times and and win first, second, and third? It'd be pretty legit. It'd be pretty dope if you felt great about the situation. Let's go with I'm gonna go MHJ here. I think MHJ is gonna have a day. I really, really do. I've been going JT there a lot, but I'm gonna go MHJ. I'm gonna go Evans and MHJ. Hawkinson over Disley, probably, but you know, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen with that kind of player, that range of player. They're all very, very close. It's kind of like asking, do you go Jennings or Debo, or do you go Jameson Williams, or potentially a player like Terry McLaurin? You know, it's tough. Kyren or Neighbors? I'm going Kyren all day long. Like not really close at all. Not that Neighbors isn't good. Not that I don't want to buy Neighbors. Again, Neighbors is a great buy low right now. He's also somebody you should be panicked on. There's a duality there at play that confuses a lot of people. But it is what it is. There are 2 vantage points. Where are you coming from? What angle are you coming from? Jacobs. Let's see. The best player available right now. Neighbors is there. There's Neighbors right there. J-Mo's there. I love J-Mo. Hopkins. Let's go Hopkins and have the stack of Hopkins, Kelsey, and Mahomes on this squad. And don't worry, we're going to do another one right now as soon as we look at this team and evaluate it and see how I like it. Geno or AR5. I'm going to go AR5 this week. I just think, and I don't really care too much about having DK and wanting to stack that. You could stack it in the wrong direction and it can screw you. You know, so it's not something that influences me. I'm starting the best players in general. Let's see here. Start 3, Brian Robinson Jr., Tyreek Hill, Josh Downs, Kyren. Come on, Bill.
Take a big laugh.
You can't ask me if you're starting Kyren. Maybe you just want to flex it. That's fine. So Tyreek Hill and Kyren are locked in. It really is a tough question. Downs, Sutton, and B. Rob Jr. They're really close. Guys, vote. If you had to start one, is it Sutton? Is it Downs? Is it B. Rob Jr.? Can you guys please give me at least 10 reactions, 10 votes in the live chat? B. Rob Jr., Brian Robinson Jr., Cortland Sutton, or Downs? Please vote for Bill so that Bill can get the best help that Bill can find. Let's help Billy Boy out. 509 caller, what's your name? 509, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Tucker from Washington.
Tucker from Washington. Tucker, what can I do for you?
I got some trade questions. My quarterback room is kind of falling apart right now. I'm running on Caleb Williams and Cooper Rush. Things are rough out here. It's a 12-man PPR Superflex.
Yeah.
And I have someone that reached out to me offering Jaden Daniels and Kenneth Walker for my Jahmyr Gibbs and Chase Brown. And right now I am 5-6 and pretty, mid-level shot at making the playoffs. So this is
well, you're not going to make the playoffs. You're definitely not going to make the playoffs any easier getting rid of Chase Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, I don't love it. So I'm curious what you thought about it. trying to put like Lamb and Gibbs together for a similar kind of package.
Yeah, I'm just not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. Your only shot is to keep Chase Brown and Gibbs and find a way to get a quarterback another way, or to bank on Caleb. There's just no way, bro. AR5 is gone, I assume. I kind of feel like AR5 is probably owned by somebody that doesn't need him.
No, he needs him.
Okay. What about Kyler? What about Tua?
Tua was just passed along the trade, and I've tried to work out a trade with that guy.
That's a decent player to like get in that. What about Stafford? What about Cousins?
Stafford, I might be able to work.
Cousins,
Yeah,
and I'm
Stafford
talking like
potentially.
smaller trade, man, not Gibbs or Chase Brown. You're better off rolling with the QB situation that you have than going that direction. You know, you just are. There's just no way you're making the playoffs you're only helping someone else win, and you're like, I shouldn't have done that. It's like pissing in the wind. You got to piss, but is it better to hold it as long as you can, or piss in the wind? You know, it's not going to change anything. Pissing in the wind, bro.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go back to the drawing board.
I appreciate you, bro. Call back if you got another one, and we'll kick it around real quick. All right, later. Let's hit the super chat here. We got first of all, my team. Before we get on over to doing another one, my team right here is Mahomes, Achane, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison Jr., Hopkins, and Kelsey. Kind of like it got projected for a decent amount. Anything above 80 is pretty good. Not that it really matters, but it's just that the projections like you at least, and that's always kind of a nice feeling. And when it doesn't like you, forget them. Screw them. When it agrees with you, all right. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me hit these super chats real quick, and then we'll get back to another draft. This one's from John, $10 hauler. Appreciate you. Half PPR QB Allen, Josh Allen, Gibbs, Achane, Tracy. Let's go. Jamar Chase, Tyreek. Okay, this is a grandma league. There's a certain point where you start rooting for a team and going hell yeah, but then you see it and you're like, okay, bro, you're playing in an itty bitty great grandma league, but that's okay. John, I play in grandma league too. That's not offensive. People say, why you gotta make fun of? I'm not making fun of them. It's just, that's a grandma league if I've ever seen one, and I love it. Reed Worthy, MHJ, come on. Any trade ideas? Sure. Let's get rid of some of the surplus. Tracy and maybe MHJ, or Tracy and Tyreek. Tracy and Reed for one bigger, stronger, better player. And it doesn't even need to be a running back because you got Gibbs and Achane. So it could be a wide receiver. It could be someone along the lines of a JJ who's struggling right now. Or I don't think he's struggling. He's struggling to fill the shoes that people bought for him. He's doing well. Doing very well, but he's not doing amazing. And Darnold's been looking cheek, so people are willing to maybe part ways when you give them a solution that kind of helps them. You're giving them Tracy, who's a starting running back. He's actually pretty damn, solid to put into a flex or a running back 2 spot if you're hurting there. And you give him a Tyreek Hill, give me JJ. St. Brown, give me St. Brown. Would I trade MHJ and Tracy for like Evans or something like that? Sure. But that's probably where I'm at. And would I do it for an RB like Kyron, who's clearly available now in trades? People are dogging him already after, a couple bad weeks. Bad being like he got 87 yards last week. It just didn't score a lot of points. Didn't produce, fantasy-wise, even though it was a good game for the most part. It just game script. Bijan, Breece Hall, those are all options. I think JT even maybe in that situation. John, appreciate your super chat, my boy. John, my boy. Mr. Peanut dropping a $1 hauler. Appreciate you. There's no message attached, but I certainly appreciate you. Thank you. He dropped another one right here. It says half PPR. I CMC for Taylor. Take Taylor and run, Mr. Peanut. I mean, could you live to regret it for a week or two and then you later on realize it was a good move? That's possible. Like, have patience with the move. Can I get a full take, a big lap? That slaps. You absolutely can.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
Appreciate you, my boy, coming in strong. Hey, Smitty, you changed my game, buddy. Hugs. Thank you, Terry Roberts. Appreciate you. Flex pick 1. Jennings, Rashad White, Quentin Johnson, Reed. Give me Jaden Reed. Pros and cons. I there's risk, but I don't know. I think without Bosa, Niners D's gonna be cheeks in this one. Have Nix and Love. Should I trade Josh Allen with Tyreek for a better receiver? I think that's way too much, my bro. I would trade Nix or Love with Tyreek to get like a JJ, to get a St. Brown, to get a, you could even say Evans if you want to push your luck a little bit and say I'm going to go after a guy that I believe is going to play better than he was and I'm just going to overpay a little. But Josh Allen and Tyreek, bro, that gets you Jamar Chase or nobody, and that's it. You have Jamar Chase, so that doesn't work. But there's no Josh Allen and Tyreek for a receiver. Josh Allen is a freaking game winner, my boy. Oh man, I just closed the super chat. What was that? Was it this one from Jay? I think it was Jay's. Yeah, here he is. 8-3 versus 8-3 to win the regular season. CMC Collins team. Okay. Main event. Only question is Caleb or Sam Darnold week 12. Woo! Jay, I don't want this kind of pressure without going to my crew and having some backup, because this is a big game for you, okay? I shouldn't say I don't want to. I want to give you the best, ask the audience who wants to be a millionaire type of, support. So chat, my amazing chat, who I trust more than myself, because that's numbers, baby. That's why it's so important to ask the audience. And I can muster up 10, 15 votes for you right now. Watch this, Jay. Chat, I want 15 responses minimum. Minimum for Jay. Jay needs our help. Are we going with Sam Darnold or are we going with Caleb Williams? I'm going to say Sam. Easy. Easy. Caleb, we got Sam. We got a Sam. We got a Sam. Darnold. Tough, but Caleb. Remember, these might be Bear fans. Sam, Darnold. Freedom says Caleb. Might be a Bears fan. Sammy. Not touching this one. Sammy, Darnold, Sam. I think it's like 90%. Sam Darnold, Jay. So even if we get this one wrong, the entire world's getting it wrong with you. Sam, put in Sam Darnold. Or Jay. Jay, you don't mind if I call you Sam, right? Especially if he wins you this thing. Put in Sam Darnold, Jay.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Anything can happen, though. It is fantasy football. Turbo with a 5 says 7-4, trade Tyreek and Bowers for JJ. I mean, that could go, especially this week, that could go sideways on you, okay? Because I think Tyreek has a day. Bowers is amazing. But again, with the risk factor to Tyreek's torn ligament and this team's out of it, what's he going to do? Why does he want to put his body at risk? I just think that I probably would rather have JJ. And you got Jonnu anyway, bro. You got Hawkinson and Jonnu. I'm doing this trade, Ricky. I'm not even thinking twice about it. If you didn't have a good tight end, it'd be different. Jay's back. Oh, no, it's the same question. Jay, appreciate you. Okay, so I did miss somebody else's super chat. Okay, I got to go find it. Here's the last one that I have, so I'm missing somebody's. Have Nix and Love. Should I trade Josh Allen and Tyreek? Already did that one, too. So let me go look and see what super chat I haven't done. Traded Pollard and Lamb for Terry. Pollard and Lamb for Terry. I think that's okay. That's a safe move. BSK, that's a safe move. I don't mind that at all. All right, so I got that one. I've got the Knicks one. I've got Jay's. I got Terry's. I've got, can I get a full big lap? I got Turbo's question. Mr. Peanut. Austin, did I get this one? This might have been. No, I got this one. It was Reed. The answer was Reed. Was it John? Half PPR, QB, Allen, Gibbs, Achan, Tracy, Brooks. I think I got that one. He did ask, can get rid of Chase for Brees and Collins. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't see that, John. I didn't see that question. I'm glad I went back to this. Chat, we're taking Brees Hall and Nico, right, over Jamar Chase? Thing is, your team's so good, though. Like, do you even need it? You got Josh Allen, Gibbs, Achan. You got Jamar Chase. You got Tyreek. You got MHJ and... I don't know, Otten, you got a good team. This might be one of those situations where it's tough to say yes because your team's so loaded. But, you know, so keep that in context when you're saying Nico and Brees. Nico and Brees, he almost doesn't need it. But that's pretty solid, bro. John, you still there? I'd take that, John. I'm sorry I didn't see that in the first read-through. I'd probably take it, I guess. Brees and Nico's pretty damn good. Especially if you could start, 3 running backs. If you can't start 3 running backs or something weird like that, then the answer is no. But, John, if you're there, as long as you can start all 3 RBs, I mean, that's a pretty damn good trade, my boy. That's a pretty damn good trade, John. John to the moon. Justin, appreciate you. Let me see if there's... I know I missed a super chat somewhere. I closed it. TP, I got yours. 217, I got yours. Dakota, Smitty, since Purdy is out, would you start Disley or Kittle? I got that one. Finding Debo, I got that one. Rob, JT for Hall and Garrett Wilson, I got that one. Mike, have Jennings and Debo needed running back 2, got offered Debo for Pacheco. I take Pacheco, I answered that one. Gino, AR5, I got that one. Bill says start 3, Brian Robinson. Oh, Bill, by the way, the chat voted Brian Robinson. I think you saw that. I probably concur with the chat, I guess, at this point. Sutton's a good play. Downs is a good play, but probably B-Rob. John with the QB, Allen, Gibbs, Achan, I answered that one. Austin says flex pick, Jennings, Rashad White, Johnson, Reed. I said Reed. CMC for Jonathan Taylor. I said that. Turbo. I got Turbo's question. Maybe I got to everybody. Nick's. If I missed anybody's super chat, please let me know. I got Justin's and Keegan, though. These are brand new, so I got these on screen. If I missed anybody's super chat, please let me know, but I think I got everybody. Start Mostert or Wright. I'm going to go probably Mostert, but I pick up Abdullah. I guess Abdullah is a tiny bit safer. But I wonder if there's even somebody better. I don't know. It's sometimes tough to... I mean, we're just swinging and throwing darts at the board. I mean, just really. I sent Nico, Love, and LaPorta and Walker for Bucky, Burrow, JSN, and Kate Otten. This is super flex, mind you. I sent Nico, Love, LaPorta, and Walker for Bucky, Burrow, JSN, and Kate Otten. Damn, bro. Okay, let's take LaPorta and Otten out. Let's take, man. It's tough because, like, Walker's a big piece. Nico's huge, bro. I don't think I'm doing this trade. I like Burrow, but, bro, Love is still very viable. And Justin, I would if you can withdraw this, I would withdraw it. I will withdraw it right now. I can't even talk. I would withdraw the trade right now. I'm not doing this. This is too much by a lot. Like, I tried to argue it with myself, going Burrow's the best quarterback in Superflex, but bro, Jordan Love is kind of an underrated piece right now. Goes into this Niners situation this week and is probably gonna have a day. I don't think I could do this trade. Withdraw it, bro. Take it down. Pull it. If you already sent it, you said you sent it. Did you already execute it? Yeah, we got to abort that trade. Withdraw it. Yeah, the chat agrees.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
We get lammed.
Out here saving lives is what we do here on the Fantasy Football Show. And we're also going to get into another draft. Ray G, let's look at Ray G's team real quick because Ray G's in here. Nix, Gibbs, Monty, JJ, CD, Otten. I like it, my boy. I like it. All right. Do you want to get in on a draft? All you got to do is go to Underdog. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure I took care of that one. Then we add this one right here. This will catch us up on the super chats. Neighbors and T for Cup. I'd rather have T and Neighbors. I think T is very, very good right now. I like Cup a lot. I do think Cup is near worth that. I guess it depends on the depth you have, but I don't think I'd do that one either. Because T and Neighbors is a lot, bro. I still think Neighbors has a lot of value. Underdog, promo code Smitty. The link is in the live chat pinned. It's in the description of the video if you're watching the replay of the show or you just want to, in a lazy fashion, go to the description real quick, click it, or just click this link right here, which is also, again, pinned in the live chat as well. Code Smitty gets it done. 50% match on your first deposit. The $10 minimum, though, you don't have to do $1,000. You do 1,000, they'll give you 500. You do 2,000, they'll give you 1,000. All the way up to 1,000, they'll give you a bonus pick in your account. But the 50% match, it's good for even the $10 minimum deposit. They'll give you $5. So we're going to jump into a draft right now. All you got to do it is open up the Underdog app. That link will do it for you. You're going to, as soon as you open it, you should see the Battle Royale Week 12 $7 entry. If you don't, make sure Draft tab is at the bottom selected and Lobby at the top. First card that you swipe through, it is right there. Battle Royale. Click the card. Click the green button. Do it live. Let's jump into a draft together. Let's see if I can load this puppy up on screen so we can show the draft as it unfolds and then answer any more super chats, take any more phone calls that you guys might have. Battle Royale Week 12. Here it is. Your boy Smitty is drafting in the 5 spot. I love these Battle Royales. Guess how much you make? $7 entry. Lot of entrants. Thousands and thousands of people. But you're not going up against thousands of people. You're going up against yourself. Guess how much first place gets? $40K. $40K on a $7 entrant. Love it. Do it live. Do it live. We've got Jordan coming in with a super chat. Trade Kyren for Nico. It's pretty even. I mean, I take, if I need a running back, I take Kyren. If I need a wide receiver, I think Nico's good return if you've got your RB room buttoned up and you're banking on like Jacobs as a running back with, let's say, JT, and you're like, I think I can do this. I can swing it. I get it. In a vacuum, I'm drafting Kyren over Nico, but it's not by a ton, and it's not something that I would say no to if you needed to make this kind of move for your team. It just depends, you know. Okay, are they shutting down CMC? No, but the whole point of the show, go watch the beginning of the show, bro. Catch up on it. It's all about trying to predict what could be coming downstream. You know what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts. Much depends on how the Niners react and win or lose the upcoming games. Is Purdy out for the year? Is Purdy out for 2 games? Do they lose both games? Do the Cardinals win this week? There's a lot of things at play, my boy. Watch the show. I literally have, about 30 minutes of why. Just waiting at the beginning of the show for you, bro. Just waiting there. Hey, Smitty, can you redo the whole show for me?
Take a big lap.
I'm just kidding. It's a good question, and I did answer it to a degree, and I will. And I know that some people do come in and they want to have, a quick answer to that, and I'm fine recapping it. I just, for the most part, I want to make sure you're getting all the knowledge that we dropped at the beginning of this show, my boy. Gibbs. Let's see if Patrick takes double wides. I was tempted to go wide receiver and just assume that I was going to get one of my right. See, I knew he was going to go, but I'm fine with this because JJ is still there, so I don't regret that decision at all now. In fact, I like JJ maybe most of those 3 wide receivers, so it looks like I made the right choice after all.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Oh!
Take a big lap.
Jeez. Oh, doing it live. Smash my elbow live. Man, that hurt. That hurt. Ziggy, do I need to go to the hospital?
I couldn't find that on your calendar.
Okay, then we're good. Thank you, bro. All right. This is coming from Bernard, who's a lifelong Niner fan. Let's see what he says. Lifelong Niner fan. You're exactly right about Kyle Shanahan. Thank you, pal. I appreciate hearing that from Niner fans because it's not built from hate. You know, I hate when people say, you know, you're a Niner hater. All you do is hate the Niners. Like, those people don't watch my show. You know, they don't watch the show. They don't watch it at all. Because been one of the biggest Debo supporters in fantasy you could find. I'm still supporting Debo to a degree. I'm still worried with Brock now potentially in flux for at least the next 2 games. And with Kyle Shanahan's inability to tell us the truth, maybe he needs Tommy John surgery. And it's not his shoulder, or it's his shoulder radiating from the UCL that isn't healed or something, or re-injured. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. On the clock here. What are we doing? We got Gibbs. We could roll with both RBs and say this is going to be a Gibbs and Monty show. I kind of like that. I saw Ray G do it, I think, in the other draft too, and I like it. It feels kind of like that could be this kind of game against Indy. This could be a Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty. 3 total touchdowns combined, 200 total yards, 225 total yards combined from them, like type of thing. That's what we might be looking at. We got Patrick going triple wide receivers. He says, give me the receivers. You do hate the Niners. You criticize them the most. Then you don't understand the show. And I don't even recognize your name. So that's fitting. I mean, it's never somebody that's a regular. Like, I don't hate on the Niners. I hate on Kyle Shanahan. It's a big difference, bro. Let's go DK. Let's get a little DK action up in here. Travis, you're live. What's up? Rock out. I'm sorry, Rock out. I don't know what I was thinking. Rock out, you're live.
Yeah, are we still rolling with Harrison over McLaurin?
Chat, can we get another temperature test here? MHJ or Scary Terry?
Well, I need a wide receiver and 2 flexes.
Who's the other player?
All right, I got McLaurin. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. I got Downs. I got Tracy Hunt and J-Mo.
J-Mo, that's right. Tracy. Guys, can we get a vote on this one? This is a tough one. I'm locked. Man,
Great matchup.
I always want to say I'm locking in, and then I look at it, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can even say that.
Pretty decent option.
Yeah, I don't think I could even say that. I don't think there is a locking in here. Damn it.
I've been trying to make a trade all day.
Let's go LaPorta. And then I know who I'm going to probably take at QB. I was hoping to get my homie. Okay, so can we get a vote on this one, guys? MHJ, Tracy, Terry, MHJ, Hunt, MHJ, Tracy, Terry. He needs three of them. Look, Terry and MHJ are getting the most votes, so I think I can use that to kind of narrow this down to Terry and MHJ. And that's kind of what my gut was at the beginning when I said I'd lock in and then I stopped. Look, Tracy's good. J-Mo's fantastic. Hunt's going to have the most guaranteed volume. I think this is what I said last night, right? It's going to probably remain MHJ, Terry, and Hunt. I think MHJ is the one you could swap out if you wanted to with one of JMO, Tracy, depending on your gut. But I would go with these three.
Okay.
The chat, you can read the chat and try and add that up and see what they say. But that's where I would go, personally. I think Hunt, that dog will hunt one more week, and then, we'll take it week by week, but I like that combo.
Yeah, like even any combo I have, I'm supposed to be winning by like 10 or something.
That's good. Here's the squad I drafted right here. Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Monty, JJ, DK, LaPorta. And just so people know, like the teams that usually win this is not the one you would have in optimal fashion drafted. It's always like there's always something like Taysom Hill. There's always gonna be something that wins. So like it's kind of nice to pick something a little different in this when you're picking. Not that you should be taking weird stabs in the dark, but there's always something going on. And Justin says props. Hang tight, Justin. I'll put some hires up in a minute. So yeah, rock out. That's my decision. What I would do, but you have to look at the chat to add up what the chat's saying, see what they're looking at.
Yeah. One more question. If I made a trade for Gibbs and I give away Walker, what wide receiver would you pair to try to get Gibbs?
Walker and you're struggling to start these guys each week, so that means they're all really close. I would say anybody, Walker and any of these guys, I'd probably try and keep, I guess, I don't know. Terry and MHJ are very close to me. Like, I'd try and keep those two, and if I couldn't, to get Gibbs, I'd do either any one of those wide receivers with Walker. Which I don't want to do. I don't want to say that, but that's just the nature of the volume, the guarantee or the lack of guaranteed volume that I think is headed Walker's direction. But I think Walker does have top 10 running back appeal. I really do. Like, you could mess this up. It's still in the realm of possibility. If Walker starts getting fed, I love him. Absolutely love him. Yeah. But would I rather have Gibbs? Yes.
Yeah, my top receiver is Cup, and then my top two running backs is A-Chain and Walker.
Yes, sir. All right, my boy. Appreciate you. Call back if you got another.
All right.
Later. Michael, Hertz, Kyron, Achan, Stevenson, Dowdle, Brooks, Debo, Devontae Smith, Dell, Coleman, Bowers, Kraft. Worried about my wide receiver depth. Any trades? So Debo, Devontae Smith, he's out this week. Dell, yeah, it is kind of light. I think Bowers is a good player to move in these situations, man. Like Bowers, and you got Kraft, and you just bank on Kraft. You bank on LV screwing up. Not saying you're wishing Bowers to have a bad, rest of the year or anything like that, but like you're just trying to like anticipate, is there a world where Bowers could be sold high, you don't regret trading him, and you're able to get him and Stevenson or him and Dowdle or him and Brooks or him and somebody traded away to go get that wide receiver like Evans or Neighbors or MHJ. Those are all very capable wide receivers that can get you what you're asking for, what you need right now. Nico, of course. McLaurin, certainly there. Neighbors, I think, is really good. Puka or Cup, of course. If you had to give up a little bit more, maybe. Or Evans. Those are all very, very much right where I would look. And this one right here from Austin, this is the final super chat, then over to the phone line. Pick one: Sutton, Rashad White, Disley, Ridley, Worthy. Probably would say, I guess, Sutton. Ridley's hard to trust, though. Worthy's hard to trust. I like Worthy a lot, but I'd probably say Sutton. And that's hard for me. Not hard for me to say. It's a long time coming. I don't give Sutton enough credit. Maybe it's time to start doing it right now. And I'm sorry, I lied. I got one more super chat. $10 hauler. Who should I try and trade for to get Barkley? 10-man PPR. Good luck, bro. I don't think you're getting him with this combination. You mentioned you need to trade for a running back. I have JJ, Nico, Hurts, Gibbs. Oh, okay. You have Gibbs and I don't think you're getting Barkley, bro. I mean, I'm not saying don't try like Hunt and Nico. It's not going to happen though. You know, that's not even JJ. You're not getting Barkley with JJ and Hunt because Hunt's going to have an expiration date. I think you're swinging too high without destroying what you got here. I think what I'm trying to move is maybe Kittle, and you go a little rogue at tight end. Look at that Niner situation crumbling. Trade Kittle and maybe Hunt, Pacheco owner. I don't know. Go get Pacheco and something for Kittle, potentially. Rashad White owner maybe wants Bucky Irving and Kittle for a player. I think that's more along the lines of what I would do, my man. And Debo, Stevenson, DK, Metcalf, Higgins, Jameson, Williams. I definitely feel like, you know, you could move Higgins or Jamo or Metcalf or a combination of those guys to go get like let's say you weren't going to go the Kittle route. You definitely have enough firepower here. I mean, if you throw like Hunt, who some people might like, Hunt and Debo, Hunt or Stevenson, DK, Stevenson, Higgins, Stevenson, Jamo, you should be able to get a JT or a Brees or a Kyron or a Bijan. Somebody's doubting those guys that much. I see it every day. One of those guys is doubted tremendously. JT, very doubted. Who's your other RB? Gibbs. So Gibbs. Yeah, JT would be perfect as well. Finding Debo. Those are all very good. And I lied again. 3 straight lives in a row. Another super chat. Uncle Smitty, 2 trades. Give Christian Watson and Goddard, I think is what you're saying here. Get Adams. Okay, so Christian Watson, Goddard, get Adams. I don't know. Bro, I don't know what Adams is going to do the rest of the way. I'd probably say, I guess, I'd still do that. I don't know. It's not a good trade, though. Either way, it's like you're both losing. Both your teams got worse making that trade. But I don't know. Give Bucky, Watson, or Worthy. Give Bucky plus Watson or Worthy. Get James Cook. Now, that's something I could get behind, and I'd do any combination of that. Keep Watson, I suppose, if you can. But give me James Cook all day long. And then flex, Chuba, Waddle, Rico. I would probably say this week Waddle, the matchup is pretty nice. And then Worthy, Watson, probably Watson. All right, let me go over to Cap. Cap, you're live.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I need 2 out of the 4. You said to ask you today, and I have Abdullah, McMillan, Dell, or Shoemaker. I need 2.
Dell and Abdullah.
Excellent.
It's not an easy call, bro. I mean, those are just the better options.
All these guys in the buy, they're killing me.
Buy Mageddon is rough, my bro. All right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
All right. Mr. Miyagi, son. You're live.
Hey, me, how's it going?
I'm good, bro.
That's good. So, I was wondering, who do you think I should start this week? Take Dell or Jacoby Myers? Or Trey Benson?
Dell. I mean, anything can happen, but I just feel like the volume is probably... Look, Dell hasn't been delivering, but Stroud hasn't been delivering. But there's still ample opportunity. And if you watch the game, it's like Dell has like a touchdown opportunity every single game. It's just Stroud delivers the worst football to him, and that might not change. Whereas Nico gets this gift of a throw. And again, it might not change, but I do know that the opportunities are there for Dell. So I'm going to go Dell. And it's not like I go Dell in crazy scenarios, but in that scenario, I go Dell. But that's me. The chat disagrees. Chat, hit it. Drop it.
Yeah, if the chat disagrees, let me know. But I appreciate you, Smitty. Thank you.
Roger says, enough with Dell, Smitty. Well, what option do you love, Roger? Of the bleak scenario he painted. I mean, come on, bro. Get real. Okay, appreciate you later, Miyagi. Wax on, wax off.
It is bleak.
Yeah, later.
It is bleak. Thank you.
Ethan, you're live. Ethan the negative, by the way. What can I help?
Smitty, how
Go ahead.
How dare you make an offer for my CD Lamb, Smitty? He's so good. How dare you? I'm just messing. What do you think for Chase Brown?
He has the worst dad jokes.
What would it take?
They're so bad.
Good year, next year for you to drop him a couple rounds. What veteran running back or rookie running back would it take
for Chase Brown?
Is there?
You mean like if I was drafted in the rookie draft, like a draft pick?
Well, no, for next year's redraft, if they pick up like a third-round rookie running back, or they bring in a veteran, let's say like I don't know, an Aaron Jones or something.
I mean, would I bet
you with Chase Brown?
Would I bet my life? Would I bet my life that this team is not going to complicate the situation in 2025? Hell no. I think that you're smart to be like, hey, let's get another RB in here, in case Chase Brown doesn't hold up or something, because he's been kind of thought to be more change of pace, like to a lot of people, and then he's proving he's not. He's proving he's fantastic. But you still are going to address the position. So the question is, are they happy enough with what he's bringing to the table product-wise to say, hey, let's go get the fifth best rookie running back, the seventh best rookie running back, or a free agent that is no more of a threat than Zach Moss was, maybe a little bit here or there. But the problem we have with the NFL draft is that the running backs fall so far that a really good running back could fall to a price and a value range that a team can't refuse. You know what I mean? Like, you could get the third best running back falling into the 3.5 round, 4th round. Like, it's crazy. So a team like the Bengals might say, well, we're taking our running back here. The good news is Chase Brown is so embedded in every part of this offense. He's so successful doing everything that he's doing. I'm not too worried about it. But is there a world where we're a little bit concerned, until the draft is over? Sure. Just because he hasn't, but I mean, Chase Brown's doing it, bro. He's absolutely you got to admit, that was pretty ballsy. I was feeling a little worried about how much Chase Brown I did all offseason, and then to watch Moss come in there and start taking over right away at first. I'm like, good God. Like, how bad is this going to get? And then Chase Brown's just taking over, bro. Every single bit of the offseason hype that we had was 100% justified. Chase Brown, there are a lot of people that come in here and they say that every time we yell Chase Brown, they get depressed because they traded him away or they gave up on him. And they're like, I can't even watch this show right now. Because if I hear one more Chase Brown, it just makes me want to smash the monitor. Well, you gave up on him, Billy boy.
Now, it's like Kyron usage now with a better offense, I'd argue.
Yeah. You shouldn't have gave up on him, Billy boy. Chase Brown?
Also, what do you think of Brock Bowers? In a 2 QB league, I'm going to keep Josh Allen. And I was wondering I think Brock Bowers is a better pick than LaPorta was this year, because I'm looking at him. LaPorta looks like a prime Mark Andrews, big guy getting down the field. Brock Bowers is getting low, catching those balls, that are coming at you, like a slot receiver. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, Brock Bowers is probably the best prospect to come out of college, like some would say ever. So it makes sense, Ethan. It's not a real big surprise.
Yeah, I'm willing to take a risk. I'm willing to treat him like we used to treat Kelsey, I think.
For sure.
And I think it's safer than LaPorta. I think it's safer.
Well, of course. I mean, it's easy to say that now, though. I mean, hindsight's better than 2020. But I do think LaPorta comes out of this year as he could rebound, too, to the point where there's no discount anymore for 2025. But as of right now in Dynasty, buy LaPorta. I might even do a Dynasty show on that. Buy LaPorta and do it now before it's too late. Because I do believe he will bounce back, and I do believe he's a discount. Is Bowers the number one Dynasty tight end? Absolutely. All right. Later, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Farb, you're live.
What up, Smitty? Going off of LaPorta. I just tuned in, so I didn't see what you were talking about. But are you loading LaPorta up this week? I got him or Disley. I'm obviously leaning LaPorta, but I haven't followed too much news here.
Fire him up. LaPorta's going to lamb some people.
Get lamb.
Absolutely love him.
Right,
I mean, as I just said, I think he turns things around in a great way. I think the discount that's presenting us in Dynasty specifically, but also redraft. And he's on waivers. Like, check your waiver wire. He's crazy. Remember about 4 weeks ago? It's maybe 3.5, 4 weeks ago, I came on and said, LaPorta, check your waiver wire. And some guy came in here, some box score Bobby, and he was like, no one's cutting LaPorta. He's been cut in so many leagues now. And the wild part is, any of my viewers right now that have heard me talk about how maybe I'm wrong, but he's on waivers. Like, what's it going to hurt? But if anybody watching my show isn't running to grab him, it's like we make fun of that he's on waivers, but I'm like, bro, you're making fun of that he's on waivers, but why is he sitting there on waivers? What have you been doing all day? Twiddling your thumbs. Would you mow the yard? Congrats. Now go pick up LaPorta. Should have done that in the morning. I mean, it's wild. But Bleezo says LaPorta's on his waiver wire. Bleezo, what are you doing? I don't care who you have. You got to go get him. But yeah, fire him up, Farb. I think he's in for a touchdown. Give him a tutty. Let's go. All right, later, bro.
Yeah, he's due. Let me get one more from you.
All right, hurry up.
Mahomes and JD5, I got them both on two different teams. Do I just split?
This week I'm going Mahomes until JD5 fully bounces back. I think. I mean, it's tempting to split them, but Mahomes has that Carolina matchup. It's gold, bro. I think Washington at home versus Dallas is also very nice, but I don't know. I think I'll wait. If Mahomes had a tough matchup, I'd say maybe split it, but Mahomes has Carolina, bro.
Yeah.
All right, later, Farb. Rock out.
All right, man. You're the man. Later.
Thanks, later. Rock out. What can I do for you?
How about Trey Far is getting McBride or Bowers?
Same concept. I mean, with those players, you had J-Mo and McLaurin and MHJ, and I think you had Stevens. Do you have Stevenson? Or you have Walker and who? You can't really trade your RBs, right? So I think you're better off going and getting LaPorta.
I would trade Tracy or Hunt.
Yeah, you're better off getting LaPorta, bro. Like, go get a cheaper play. Like, you got to go get McBride or Bowers. You're going to have to give up one of those, like, bigger guns. Like, no one's going to even take McLaurin for Bowers. Maybe they would. It depends on their receiving room.
I'll say McBride because this guy got two tight ends.
Okay, then see if he needs one of the wide receivers. But I'm not giving up, like, an RB or something like that, like Walker. You just can't afford it. You could get LaPorta pretty cheap.
I can stack two wide receivers. I got enough depth to do it.
LaPorta's very cheap, so. All right, hang tight, Rock Out. Let me get these super chats out of the way, and then I'll go over to Travis and then back to Rock Out. Traded Lamb, D-Hop, Myers for London and MHJ. I definitely think that's the wisest move given the states of those teams and the likelihoods of all the things we talked about at the top of the show. Lamb chops, all that stuff. Thank you for the advice. Keep up the great work, says Finding Debo with the $2 hauler. Thank you, Debo. Appreciate you. I was offered McConkey for Hopkins and Amari Cooper. I don't want to say that this is a good or a bad trade in either direction. It's just a lot of unknowns, and you've got a rising player in McConkey who's looking better every week. He really is. He looks good. We loved him pre-draft. I admit I was kind of down on his situation. And Herbert's been playing very well considering. I think he could play a lot better. He's definitely held back, but he's doing well. He's doing well. And as I admitted yesterday and the day before, I think too, Harbaugh does not do well in the offseason so far. Since he's been back, it's 1 year, one offseason building, I think. But he does a great job coaching what he has, and it's going really well. And Ladd McConkey's looking fantastic. Would I have done a lot of other things that Harbaugh didn't do? Like if Harbaugh just would have went into a coma walking into the drafts, season, right up to about September, and he wakes up and you go, I got you Barkley. I kept Keenan Allen instead of the ham sandwich that you were talking about before you got in the coma. Not that Keenan Allen's great. I'm just saying, especially with Herbert, like I think Keenan Allen would have done well for one more year. And you handed him Barkley. You even got him as Joe Alt, who he didn't need necessarily because later played that exact position. But you just said, hey, Harbaugh, welcome back from the coma. And he's rah, right from the jump out of the coma. This is the best coma I've ever been in. There's no better coma. In fact, I liken comas to when you're building sandcastles in Hawaii in the winter, and you take a dip. You take you jump into the ocean, you swim in the direction of China, and just the feeling you get is kind of like a coma. Probably something you'd say coming out of the coma. You say, I gave you Barkley, I kept Keenan Allen. We're on fire. We're ready to go. Now coach this team, young man. And Harbaugh would take it the distance. Like Harbaugh's a good coach. He's really good. So this is a tough, back to the point here. This is a tough question to answer because like McConkey could continue to do really well. I would probably say it's pretty even. Hopkins, there's potential up and downs. There's a potential top 15 wide receiver sitting here in Hopkins. There's a potential top 15 wide receiver sitting here in McConkey. And I don't really know what I feel about Amari Cooper at all, even adding to or holding down the trade, or who are you cutting, like at that point. So I'd say trust your gut. Chat, can we vote on Ladd McConkey or Hopkins going forward? Hopkins is still, I feel like people are writing him off too quickly off of a week where we kind of said he was top 12 to 15 wide receiver capable going forward, has a kind of a mediocre day, and everyone's like jumping off the train. Just like people are jumping off the McLaurin train and the JD5 train just a little too quickly. Like, what are you guys doing? What are we doing here? How good has McLaurin been all year? You're going to give up on him? How good's Kyron been all year? People are going to act like he's not a top 5 potential running back going forward because he's had a couple bad games in a row. He's not allowed to have bad games. He literally tore it up for 7 straight games? 7 straight games of scoring massive amounts of touchdowns, more touchdowns than there were games. And because he has not a struggle bus stretch, but maybe game script, kick to the nuts, type of game script like that held him back a little bit. We got McConkey vote. McConkey, Hopkins by an inch. Looks pretty close. McConkey. Yeah, it looks like McConkey by a hair. Start Worthy or Wandell. I'd probably go Worthy personally, especially against Carolina. Probably going to be a rushing touchdown in there this week. I got a gut feeling. $10 hauler from Laughing. Number 2 team wants Bijan bad. I have JD5 Tua, Bijan Swift, Tracy Mason, Nico Dell. Okay, LaPorta. You need something. He has Mahomes, Barkley, K9, Hill, Puka, MHJ, Neighbors, Brown. Is Bijan and Algier for K9 and MHJ fair? Fair, yes, but is that the deal you should be doing? I would probably say, try and steal something different from him. Try and go after like Puka and Hill, or I know you want a running back and you definitely need that. So never mind, you got to get a running back. If I'm doing this, bro, make him overpay, or don't do it. If you want some bad, you're sitting here telling me he's desperate. You can't afford to give up Bijan and not get like K9 and Puka. Ask for K9 and Puka or don't do it.
If you want to put Barkley together with Bijan.
Yeah, K9 and Puka.
Deadly couple.
K9 and Puka would be enough, but it'd have to be that. May, Burrow, Gibbs, Brown, Hunt, Dowdle, Nico, Neighbors, Flowers, Jennings, Mooney, Judy, McBride. And by the way, real quickly to that last super chat, if he says, I'm not going to give you my best guy, then say, well, I'm not going to give you my best guy. And just lean right into it. Like, what in the hell you think you're going to do? If you're going to not give me your best guy, you better give me 2 players I want, or I'm going to slam the door in your face. That's what I would tell him. Some of you guys got to get some some aggression going with their trade offers. May, Burrow, Gibbs, Brown, Hunt, Dowdle, Nico, Neighbors, Flowers, Jennings. I'm deep at wide receiver, but then a running back. What moves do you recommend? I'd probably say deep at wide receiver. Nico, Neighbors, Flowers. Yeah. I don't know. I think if you got Chase Brown and Gibbs, you're deeper than you're suggesting. Do I want to maybe get a third one in here? Maybe, but like, you're pushing all the chips in, right? And I get you're worried about depth, but think about if you swing Flowers in the direction of RB, now you're thin at wide receiver because Jennings, Mooney, and Judy, it's okay, but that's not going to be. It's going to be right where your running back room is. So I'm not necessarily saying don't do a move, but I think you're overestimating the balance a little bit, or underestimating it, or estimating it wrong. I think Hunt's pretty solid to trade right now. Pacheco would be a target of mine to help solve this problem by using Judy and Jennings and Dowdle if you can do something like that. I think Nico and Flowers, I wouldn't touch. Nico and Neighbors, I wouldn't touch. Flowers is expendable to fix this problem potentially because Judy's playing well and Jennings, if Purdy comes back, will be solid. But you could always look to maybe move McBride into a LaPorta. That would be the move. Or another tight end similar to the LaPorta value. And then try and upgrade Hunt. Maybe go see if the Pacheco owner happens to ironically have LaPorta or something like that. You can maybe do that slight running back upgrade, give them Hunt, give them security, and then you give them a better tight end. That's probably where I would take this and then kind of see where that evolves or takes you and go from there and bring back whatever else you cook up as you figure that out. Hey, how are you? I'm good, bro. NFL Fantasy app trade deadline November 21st and 22nd. On the trade screen, it shows 21st, but on managed rules, it shows the 22nd. Will the trades be made on the 22nd or clear for tomorrow? I don't know. I wish this was in my purview. I don't. My guess is that it's like midnight. It's probably what it means. Like for everybody else, it's 21st. Get your trades in, guys. And the commissioners, you're looking at like as soon as it hits the 22nd, it's done. That's my guess. But I don't know. What I will say is that this is the worst. It's a fun app to use as a player, maybe, but it's the worst to manage. I think Sleeper is a little more customizable. But I don't have the answer to this. But I appreciate your $10 super chat. I appreciate you. And good luck to your trades, scenarios. And let me know if you have a question. But I have no clue. I could use my resources. Chat. I got 400 people I can ask right now. Can you guys explain maybe what's going on here? Am I right that it's just from the commissioner viewpoint? It's saying on the 22nd, it's as soon as it hits midnight, it's done.
Well, it depends on how long the wait is, because that's customizable too. Like it could be 1 day, 3 days, immediate. So he has to look up that, and then generally it probably means just the end of that day. So like you said,
yeah. And I guess the main question is, will the trades made on the 22nd clear for tomorrow? I guess that's more of what the advice they're looking for. So if you guys could answer your...
He can look that up. You can find that in the settings. If you go into settings, and I don't know if it's general or trades or whatever, it'll say how long it takes for trades to clear.
Okay, there you go. Look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine it's not going to be rushed along though, bro. Like it is what it is. Like it won't, just because the deadline's coming doesn't mean it's just going to process right away. Like the deadline's probably going to be the same. So go look it up, whatever it is, count on that. It says it's first day it allowed people to trade on the 22nd. It's 1 day. Oh, today's the 23rd, right?
Yeah. Right. So it should.
Yeah.
It should clear.
Allowed people to trade on the 22nd. So it probably should. It probably should take the normal amount. The normal amount of time. See you later. Bye. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it'll speed along by any means. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you. Appreciate your super chat. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for clarifying as well. I don't know how to say your name. Mir, appreciate you. O'Grady, Chuba versus KC, or Dobbins versus the Ravens. KC's tough, bro. Dobbins is definitely in the right bucket of player to lean on for matchup. You know, make this a matchup call because they're in the same. They have the same overlap, if you will. So give me the J.K. Dobbins matchup. Knicks or Herbert. I'm gonna go Herbert for safety. Knicks is high risk, high reward. Knicks does have. I mean, you could call it a tough matchup. I mean, Ron was ranting on it last night, saying that he was going to get rattled by the Raiders and Crosby was going to go after him. But I mean, Knicks is playing pretty well, and he's a smart guy. Herbert probably is a tad safer. Otten, Disley, or Jonnu Smith. Jonnu's been playing out of his mind. They also got New England's down Gonzalez. That it's going to be a nice matchup passing wise for the Dolphins. I think they blow up. And Otten's getting Evans back to compete for touches. Not that Godwin's back; they're still opening, you know, for a lot of good work. And Disley's been playing well, but Jonnu's the call. I mean, he's been on fire. Not only are you going with the hot hand there, he's also just safer. So thank you, O'Grady. Appreciate you. Thank you, Austin. Appreciate you. Non-PPS is Vince. Non-PPR pick 2, DK, Debo, Tracy, and Chuba. I'll probably go DK, and I suppose I would still go. Would you guys go Tracy or Debo? Rockout and Travis. Tracy or Debo? I think you go DK.
Debo or DK?
Tracy.
Well, you're picking 2. DK, Debo, Tracy, Chuba. I'm going DK.
DK. Yeah, DK for sure.
And then it's Debo, Tracy, Chuba. Chuba's tough matchup. Debo's got Brandon Allen throwing on the ball, but he could be game scripted into a lot. And then you've got
Maybe DK Tracy.
Yeah, I think DK Tracy's safest, but Debo's high risk, high reward. I would say you need a high risk, high reward play. Debo's probably the one you'd pick there. After the news, Dell over Jennings. I think I probably would this week, but I don't know. Do you guys agree, Dell or Jennings? I mean, I just don't. Jennings, I don't know what Jennings is going to do with Brandon Allen. I have no idea. And I think, you know, we don't know what Dell's going to do with Stroud, but at least we know that he's getting targets. Yeah, I go Dell, but it's close. Non-PPR pick 2, DK, Debo, Tracy, Chuba. That was non-PPR as well. So I'd say definitely Tracy safer than Debo at that point.
Yeah.
But
Tracy.
Yeah, that's a good call though, or a close call. Need a QB, Stafford or Geno or Tua this week? Man, Tua's a good play. He's a really, really good play this week against the Patriots. But I guess I would say, you know, what do you guys think about Stafford at home Sunday night against the Eagles? It's going to be a tough game, but
Philly's been good.
But the Rams, that matchup proof, you know, offense is so hard to.
All that motion.
I think because I don't trust Tua yet, I'm still going Stafford, even in a tougher matchup. I just think we've seen remember the Rams were supposed to get shut down by that tough Minnesota defense, and nobody can pass on Minnesota, and they went in and just ravaged them. I think they've got too many weapons to call them anything but matchup proof. I'd probably go Stafford, but Tua should have a good day. Like, you want to risk the biscuit for Tua. I'm okay with it, but it's hard to trust him. Let me get these other ones out of the way real quick, and then I got Denny on the line who's been. Oh, Denny called and then hung up. Denny, call back in. Need a running back 2 with Brown out. When dining. Let's see here. Akers, Mostert, Sharps, Gus, Benson, Braylon Allen, and Spears. Spears is out, I think. Akers, Mostert, Sharps, Gus. I guess I'd go. Man, this is a really tough crew. I'd probably go Benson. Gus ain't bad. I mean, they're bad. It's none of it's safe, but Benson's at least been producing. Like, he had a really good game last week. I'm probably going to roll with that. Gus could probably get more guaranteed touches, but what will he do with them? Did J.K. steal all those away with that impressive touchdown ending to last week to where it's like now Gus won't get those? It's hard to know. I'll go Benson, but real close. 10-man, 0.5 PPR, 2 flex. How's the squad? Hurts, Kyron, Bijan, Neighbors, DK, McBride, C-Mac, Mixon, love it. Bench is Sharps and Jennings and J-Mo. We talking championship? I think so, bro. That's a really, really good team. I mean, you're starting C-Mac, Mixon, Kyron, and Bijan with the amount of flex players you have. That's unreal. That's really good, Skyward. It's Grandma League material, but it's still damn good. With Josh Allen on a bye, need a QB. Stafford, Geno, AR5. Are we going AR5 over Stafford, though, this week? Or what are we doing, boys? And that
safe.
AR5's right here.
I would like AR5, but it's going to be kind of boom or bust. Because Detroit gives up a lot of passing yards, but they can get after the quarterback a little bit.
Chat, vote on this one if you could. I'd probably say for me in this Detroit game it's going to be a shootout, regardless of, I think if AR5 has some mistakes and such. I think they're still they're thrown from behind. Detroit should be up. This game is a tough matchup. I'd probably say AR5 given the running if I had to pick, but I mean it is a risk, and you got to understand it's a risk, Nikki. So pick your poison. I'd say Stafford is safer. AR5 is higher risk, more upside. This one right here. Watson in the wide receiver 2 role. Who's NWI? What are we doing? Westbrook Akine. Okay, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Westbrook Akine. Okay. Yeah, Westbrook Akine. We got to stop doing this. You're running the risk of just wasting your super chat. I don't have the Dakota ring for the Houston Texans. NWI. Or Watson in the wide receiver 2 spot. Probably Watson. NWI. He's been doing good things for a while. Last 6 games, 5 TDs. But I still go Watson, who had 150 yards. And I think the Niners are going to get absolutely smashed on D. BT or London. London bye. BT and London on a bye. Okay. I got you. So, yeah, Watson's probably the best play. They're both really good, though. I don't think – or I shouldn't say they're both really good. They're both high risk, but they both have potential to be good. What's a fair offer for Tracy? I need a cheap running back. I mean, I don't know what your team is, 217, but I would say, like, if we're talking about Tracy, you give up man, I would say below Scary Terry, below Evans, below – you don't want to give up those guys, but – you know, you have an MHJ and you need a running back. I understand that. You have a J-Mo. That makes sense. You have an extra tight end. Absolutely. Those type of players for sure. But don't go any higher than that type of caliber wide receiver. You can't give up Neighbors. You can't give up players like that. Denny, call in. Yeah, I tried to answer the call. Travis, what do you got?
Sorry, love you. So someone dropped Goddard in my league, and I have Otten and Kincaid, who's obviously hurt. So he would be a good piece for me to pick up. My dilemma is who I should drop or if I should drop anybody. The choices would be Braylon Allen, Christian Watson, Anthony Richardson, who I would really prefer to keep. Or I have Detroit and Los Angeles defense.
Can you read them off one more time? Read the players that you would drop for. This is for Goddard. Okay.
Yep. So. Braylon Allen, Christian Watson, Anthony Richardson, or I guess I could drop Los Angeles defense. I have Detroit defense.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. I'd probably do that.
Drop Los Angeles for now.
Yeah, I probably would.
They got some tough matchups coming up.
Yeah, that's an easy call.
I can kind of mix and match.
Denny, are you calling in again, or yeah, no problem.
And Rip, I gotta jump off the phone, but real quick, are you still going Knicks over JD5 this week?
God, bro, I go back and forth on that, honestly.
I know, because I had settled on Knicks, but then I'm like, can JD5 just air it out against Dallas? Like, even if he doesn't run?
I mean, I think he's going to be back to form here running the ball. I think he's had enough time. I think they say he's not injured, but come on. He's I think he's probably pretty close to being back. But then again, you never know. They could take another week.
Yeah. Either one's a decent play. They have good matchups, I guess.
Denny, we're waiting for you.
It's just hard for me not to play Daniels, but...
Yeah. I'd probably go... I mean, Knicks has just been on fire. I think you almost have to. In the worst case scenario, he gets you 2 touchdowns and 240 yards, and maybe he has an INT, but I think he's like, you might be off a touchdown and 40 yards or something. But you could also save yourself from having, like, a lesser, I don't know. I'd probably go Knicks for now. Denny, turn down the show if you could. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Travis. We'll see you later.
I got to run. I appreciate it, Smitty.
All right. Later. Denny, you're live. Denny, what can I do for you? You got to turn down the show in the background, Denny.
Turn it down.
You got to turn it off. You got it live here now. You don't need it.
Yeah, later, Travis.
What can I do for you, Denny?
I'm just watching the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch the show.
Sometimes
That's one thing you don't think about me. I watch the show when I learn. Sometimes I'm just a student of the show.
Hey, Denny, you're controversial right now?
Why? What do they do?
There's about 2 or 3, and they're only 2 or 3. They're very small in numbers, but they're very loud. They're chirpy. And they're in the comments section after every show that you're on. They go, you got to stop putting Denny on the show. You're going to lose subscribers. But then for every one person that says that, 15 people come in and go, Denny's the best. I love Denny. I can't wait for Denny to come on. Yeah. So, But so, when you get big like you, Denny, when you start blowing up, you're going to have a lot of haters. So you can't let it affect you. But it is wild how many people come to bat for you when that one person comes out of the woodwork. I
can't tell you how much I appreciate the ones that come to bat for me. I really can't. And the ones that hate me, those are the ones that they're never gonna end up being friends of the show, because we came up through the graveyard shift. We listened to Smitty.
Yeah.
The ones that really hate, they're not. If they don't like me, they're not really gonna like you.
Can I get a song about Christian McCaffrey right now? Impromptu, go. Anything, hit it. Whatever's coming to mind.
Man,
Christian McCaffrey.
No, I'm in a low mood, man.
No. Then give me something low. Give me something, because Christian McCaffrey might not be there for everybody in week 16, 17 if the Niners don't have Brock Purdy and things go downhill for him. So give me something somber.
I'm the guy that doesn't have him. I'm the guy that has Purdy. I'm the guy that has the other guys.
Okay, okay, so give me it.
Captain McCaffrey. Everything. I don't know. I was told I had the voice of an angel, but
Can I get something? Just hit me with it, Denny. I need some Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, or Lamb. They're the concerns of the show. Top of the show, I talk about Hill, CMC, and Lamb being a big concern. Can I get some sort of somber song about one of those 3? Lamb, CMC, Tyreek, go.
I go CMC, and my song's gonna be "Cold November Rain."
Oh wow!
Wow. Okay.
Counting Crows. Counting Crows.
No, sweetie, that's
November.
Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
Cold,
Okay, go hit it, Denny. I'm
cold,
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I can't. I
You can't.
I swear to God, I can't. I just call it.
Do it.
I
Do it.
just can't. I'm in
Do
shy
it.
mood. I'm shy.
Denny, get on it. Go out on a limb. Do it. Just do it. You never know who's listening. Maybe American Idol. You never know. Go ahead.
Maybe I get a record. Cold November, Christine McCaffrey's maybe hurt, but I'm still gonna get some. Christian, I heard CMC was hurt, but I'm still gonna. I just can't. I didn't call in. CMC and the cold November rain. You know where I'm going with it. Can you have someone else? You know what I mean? That's cold November rain. You ever heard it? Sad. It's cold, it's rain. You don't get that out there in Arizona. Cold November rain and the pain of CMC. There's something that has to get. In the cold November rain, I just can't get it.
Go on. Denny, go. It's you.
Today is the worst day I ever had. I started Purdy, and now he's on the ice. Maybe I like this. Nice.
All right. Denny, anything else real quick before I move on? I was told we need small doses of you though, just to keep things fresh. Denny, would you be offended if you had would you be offended if you had a 3-minute timer per day, and it put pressure? Okay, it put pressure on you, so you have 60 seconds left for whatever you want. Okay, but then your time is up, and if you hang up and you got 15 seconds, you buy yourself another call in if you need to do a real quick shot. So you got 52 seconds, and then no more calls for you.
No, I call in. Honestly, I just love the show.
The show loves you.
And I just, for some reason, man, if you caught me a different day, I would have every song ready, but I just am not in that mood. But I love this show.
Thank you, Denny.
And a lot
The
of
show
people
loves
on
you.
here that know me, they know me all the way through from the graveyard. Remember we came through the graveyard?
Yes, Denny, I remember.
I actually root for this show to grow. But
thank you, Denny.
I met Smitty personally.
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
And bye-bye. Love you guys.
Finish him.
You're my boy, bro.
Call terminated.
See you, Smitty.
You know, I mean, I hate to do it. I hate to put the timer on it. But, you know, maybe a small dose of Denny is appropriate. And maybe it just makes Denny that much more special to all of us. All right. Rock Out. Any final thoughts, Rock Out?
Yeah, you got any news on Lad?
On who?
Lad McCaffrey?
McCockney?
Yeah. McCaffrey.
I mean, last I heard, he was looking pretty good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was playing or not.
Yeah. He should be good to go. Let me just make sure there's nothing else lingering on Lad.
Because he plays on Monday.
McConkney. Questionable for week 12. But everything I've read, limited session.
Yeah, getting screwed on.
Determination, come down. Yeah, I mean, we should know in enough time, but I have a feeling he's fine. You never know, though. You never know.
Yeah, I would either play him or Stevenson.
Yeah. Appreciate your Rock Out. Yeah, let's see in the morning. But put my McConkey, a.k.a. McConkey, in there and leave him in there.
And then I also got I got Bo Nix over Tua.
Okay, Bo Nix over Tua. Yeah, that I probably would as well, even though Tua should have a good day. All right, my boy. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Rock out to the moon later. Justin, final thoughts. What's up?
Smitty, I had a question for you. Speaking on neighbors right now, like how that situation is like kind of up in the air, would you do a deal of neighbors in Montgomery for T. Higgins and J.K. Dobbins?
No.
You would accept it?
No. I like Higgins a lot. Or JK. I like JK and Higgins to a degree. I love Higgins to a degree right now, but I just think Monty's by far and away the better running back choice, and Neighbors to me is at least equal, but has more upside to be better. He's a better player by a country mile, but his situation is garbage. So at the end of the day, I'm not doing this trade. Monty's very steady.
Okay.
Steady.
I'm glad. I set off JK and G for Monty in it, so I snagged Monty.
Oh, nice. I like it then. Yeah, nice work.
Very nice. Cheers.
All right, bro.
Well, God bless you.
All right, later. Good luck today or tomorrow. Today, for some of you, it's today already. For me, it's not yet, but Superflex, AR5, Knicks, Rush, Kyron, Bijan, Pacheco, Tracy, Madison, Neighbors, JMO, JSN, Debo, Dell, McBride, Disley. Any moves, Denny, laughing emoji. They love you, Denny. They love you. The majority love you. Superflex, AR5 Knicks. Look, good team. Good quarterback play, actually, right now. Very solid. Kyron Bijan, love that, long term for the rest of the season. Pacheco coming back. Tracy and JMO, Tracy and Debo, Tracy and Neighbors. Like, all those are good pieces to move around. Taysom Hill and Likely and Disley and McBride. I mean, you're trying to move one of those tight ends, bro. And honestly, if you want to make a big splash, roll with Disley and Hill and Likely. And I like all of them, honestly. I keep all three, given if you got rid of McBride, you'd have a questionable, situation in a way that could be good and serviceable, but it might rotate. What if Andrews goes down? Now Likely's a top 7 tight end. Easy. So I'd trade McBride because he's a hot commodity. Tracy, McBride, go get you one of them big monster wide receivers like JJ, St. Brown, McBride for Evans, McBride for Cooper Kupp or Puka. Give up another piece. Tracy and McBride together should be getting you like a JJ or a St. Brown, or you're almost not doing that trade, but I would definitely try. And look, JJ's attainable right now. He's more attainable than he should be. Since McConkey is questionable and plays on Monday, would you pick up Bateman or Palmer? Probably Bateman. Yeah, Bateman by a lot, Eric. But I do think he plays, but you're right. We don't know. We should know tomorrow, but you never know. Bravo, appreciate your $20 hauler, you monster.
Too much.
Straight monster. Who to flex, Jennings or Eckler? Probably. Chat, can we get a vote on this? I mean, B-Rob's back in the saddle, but they throw to Eckler a lot, right? We're going Eckler, aren't we? With Brandon Allen throwing the ball to Jennings, not knowing what we're looking at there. They will be down probably throwing a lot, though, so maybe Jennings gets 8 receptions for 65 yards or something. It's possible, but we start Eckler. I think Eckler's the call. I would say Eckler. And which QB, Love or Knicks? Chat. I got to go to the chat again on this one. Love or Knicks? I probably would say Knicks is your steady Eddie, and Love's higher risk. He really is, but he's going up against that beat-up Niner defense. No Nick Bosa. I think I'm going to roll with Love with the Max Crosby matchup. And Knicks is going to probably do well. And I like him. But I'd probably go Jordan Love. Can I get a vote on this one? The chat saying Knicks. Keep in mind, I mean, it's close enough to where they might score the exact same amount. Love with San Francisco banged up. It's tough. My hesitation. I lean Love. I think Love and the Packers are gonna rout the Niners, and I think the Raiders are a good matchup for the most part. But you got some people that disagree. We had, like I said, we have Ron Navy on here last night ranting about how Max Crosby was gonna, try and ruffle the feathers of Knicks. Knicks could do okay, but maybe he doesn't blow up. I think Knicks is pretty damn good. And then, but I think I go Love personally. But Knicks is safer. You want safety, go Knicks. You want higher risk, and it's risky because he could score much lower, but he could also score much higher. I go Love personally. Tight end Disley or LaPorta. I'd probably go LaPorta personally. Those are all such tough calls. I'm afraid I'm going to get 2 or 3 of those out of the 3 wrong. That's why I'm asking the audience, because those are like the definition of 50-50 calls. Appreciate you, man. Let's hit these super chats real quickly. We've got Con, appreciate you. Baker Mayfield or Anthony Richardson this week. Baker is safer. I think you go Baker. He's got Mike Evans back. He's definitely safer. I like AR5, but I'm going to go Baker. Lab McConkey. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. 10-team league, half PPR, 7-4. Kyler, Brees, Mixon, Hunt, Chase Brown, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Evans, Higgins, Jennings, Tillman, Bowers, Hawkinson. Yeah, you're trading one of Hawkinson or Bowers, bro. Like, immediately. And I would have sold Jennings high. Now it's going to be tough. Higgins and Evans and Garrett Wilson, Puka. I'm getting rid of Wilson. I know Wilson's not easy to trade 1-for-1, but you pair him with a tight end to a team that needs a tight end, and now all of a sudden you can upgrade Garrett Wilson into, you have Evans, but Evans type player. Puka or Cup, that's what I call it. Puka or Cooper Cup or Puka Nacua would qualify as that worthy. I don't know if I'd trade Bowers in that, but Hawkinson and Garrett Wilson for one of those wide receivers would suffice. If you could get JJ, I would sacrifice Bowers. Those would be 2 players that I would absolutely, 3 players I'd go get. Puka, Cup, St. Brown, JJ. There's 4. There's 4 easy calls for me. And then at the end of the day, you could give up 1 for just Neighbors, one of the tight ends. Daniels or Kyler. I'm going to go Kyler. Javonte or Rashad White. I'll probably go Rashad White. Javonte, you just don't know, bro. I know we think we know from week to week, but it's always, they don't use the running back consistently at all. Every week we're thinking we have a new vibe on a vibe check on that, and we don't. Knicks or Goff. I'd probably say Goff for safety, man. It should be a shootout too. Pick 2, Sutton, Reed, JSN, JMO. I'm going to go JMO and Reed, but they're very close. Those are awesome options. They really are. JSN's awesome. Sutton's playing really good. Reed and JMO for me. But chat, if you disagree, vote in the chat. Appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. I'll see you all in the morning. I'll be live an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. Probably an hour and a half before kickoff. So your boy will be here to answer your questions and do it live. Good luck to everybody. We're a little early tonight, and I'm trying to do that more on Fridays and Saturdays. Get live a little bit sooner. And then if we go long, that's okay. Dropping stuff here. But I'll be live about an hour and a half before the morning games. And don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. That's where I'm going to head right now. I might even do a live stream right now on Patreon. In fact, I will. If you're on my Patreon, there's the link right there. Going live on Patreon in about 10 minutes or so. I'll see you all there. Appreciate all you. Good luck. See you an hour and a half before kickoff. Hour and a half before kickoff, we'll be here. Appreciate you all. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks. Live additionally, most graveyard shifts like this one right here, Graveyard Crew. We built this Smitty on graveyard shows. That's how we really built this show. So we do the graveyard better than anybody. But we are live whenever big news breaks. We are live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Denny, Dimes to the moon. Denny in the building. Denny, appreciate you. I like the Denny timer because then Denny's got to decide what's important to him. Because if he's got another 10 seconds on the clock, he could hang up and then save himself a 10-second call-in whenever he wants. Right, Denny? See you all tomorrow. Patreon audio live. Let's go. Yep, I'll see you all over on Patreon. Again, the link is right here to the Patreon. Smash that link. I'll be live on Patreon in about 10 minutes or so. Deuces.